Hey Nuggets! Welcome back to another video. Today, I'm gonna show you first my beautiful dinner from KFC, which my dad got for me on Saturday. It was really lovely. I got 2 pieces of original chicken and cheese fries with mashed potatoes. And once dinner is done, let me show you the concept sketch that I've done up in my sketchbook / iPad, whatever the fuck. So the idea of it is we're going to have like Thatch being really sexy. Well, the original idea was to have Thatch being really sexy, surrounded with an elaborate like dinner arrangement of flowers, cakes, and candles. If we're going according to the same like time of the day theme that I mentioned in like a video-ish ago, then this illustration would represent maybe like 9-10 p.m. when the party's going kind of crazy. But as you can see, I had a really hard time like figuring out how his face should look, because lately I have a really hard time drawing faces. Like, it started with the Vista video where like it took forever for me to get his face right, and somehow that art block just followed me all the way to this Thatch illustration, which was kind of annoying. But once I got his face down, I thought he looked quite handsome. But right now on screen, I guess you're just seeing me like cycle through all of my failed attempts. And I won't give too much commentary on any of them beyond the fact that they just look kind of weird. The facial structure just wasn't looking right, and the eyes didn't hit right, the expression didn't hit right. I oscillated between smiling and frowning. It was a lot, and for some reason, none of them gave me like handsome Thatch. They all just looked a little bit off. But like I said, eventually, once I got there, and I got there by adding a little bit of story, a little bit of context to the whole thing. I eventually settled for just like somewhat looking down like 3/4 angle. So something special that I've added to this particular like facial anatomy is injuries. So like I gave him some cuts on his lip, as well as like a bruise on his right eye, I think. The reason why I did that is because, 1, storytelling, and 2, because like the shape of his right eye looked a little bit off, and I decided to just take advantage of it and make it look swollen, like he had a black eye. And I thought like, wait, that could lead to a really fun story. So maybe he's like a bad boy who broke up with his partner, and then he hears that his partner is dating someone new, so he showed up at the party and nobody wants to see him, so he got beat up really badly, and then he's on the ground like this. So yeah, I guess it's kind of hot, but also like very out of character for him. But mainly it's hot to me, and this is my drawing. So I'll do whatever the fuck I want. So yeah, after figuring out like the face and apparently now the anatomy situation, it's time to work on the background. Yay! Okay, so the background for this is kind of wild because usually what I like to do is I like to depict my characters as like embedded in a sort of scene. So think like a forest, mainly forests actually, or maybe just like some very installations of flower arrangements here and there. But this time I decided to just say screw it and go with a similar concept as my very first like 𝖤.𝖼 spread thing, where it's a mix of flower arrangements housed in tiny vases and food. Not just any type of food, but cake more specifically. The aesthetic that I was going for this piece is sort of like a nighttime party, glitzy, glamour kind of thing. So think like cakes, candlelight, and maybe the occasional like bright pink, lilac, yellow flower, something like that. Quite frankly, I'm at this point of recording like the videos and all that, I wasn't very sure like how I wanted to include flowers for this. I just know that I don't want like anything that's too dull, so like I don't know, those that pale as vintage pink kind of thing. I know I don't really want colors like that. I want it to be very bold. More specifically, like I said, I want purples, pinks, yellows, but maybe also some whites and maybe like a baby blue delphinium. I'm not very sure. Eventually I got it done, and now you'll see me, you know, work on that as some music plays. So yeah, that was the background, and right now on screen you see me do like the teeny tiny little flower details. I think I've included a similar sort of flower in a Marco illustration that I alluded to quite some videos ago. Man, there's a lot of like interlinking in this video series, but regardless, yes, you're seeing me do some teeny tiny flower details. And honestly, like before doing this background, I was super overwhelmed with the amount of detail I'll have to do. But as I was like drawing this whole thing, I had a lot of fun, like just indulging in the little details and the playing around with different shapes and different like props as to like what I can include. Like for example, like look at these slices of cake and these cherries. Like drawing these cherries was a lot of fun. Like I really enjoyed doing the stem there because the stem is like a really thin shape, and even though like my shaky ass hands say otherwise, I actually enjoy doing these really thin fine details. I think it just shows off like a meticulousness in the artwork, an attention to detail, and also maybe a dash of the handmade because of my janky ass lines. But yes, as I was saying, I had a lot of fun playing with the different shapes that goes into creating a scene like this, like a lot of round shapes for the fruits and strawberries, a lot of triangles, a lot of parallelograms for the cakes. Something that I'm really interested in doing in the coloring stage, which I'll present in the next video or something, I don't know. I really want to play with different colors, so maybe like the filling of the cake would be orange. I've seen some like cakes on Pinterest be like strawberries with like orange slices and kiwi, I think. So that could be a lot of fun to try and include. Some color variation within the cakes themselves, so they just won't be like this slab of white with a very stereotypical red filling. So yeah, can't wait to try it out in these tiny details. And right now you're seeing me clean up the jacket. Fun fact, I actually took a picture of myself doing this exact pose on my bed just to get the shapes right. In case you don't know, I guess I haven't really mentioned this so openly before, but in case you don't know, for most of my poses, I actually take pictures of myself like on my bed doing things like this. So we can get like a more unique, original concept. If applicable, I also like to wear shirts, fits that are most similar. So for example, even though like I intend on this jacket to be a leather jacket, I actually wore on like a pretty thick-ish material for this, so I can reference the jacket. I guess, if that makes any sense. So I'll try to like match the materials and get the folds looking correct. Like for Izzo, I have this like long kimono, loose kimono jacket that I like to wear whenever I draw him, because he does wear that sort of fabric in canon, and I want to honor that. Yes, and now we're reaching the end of the video, but this is a really fun moment for me and I want to document it. So exactly 1 week from when I filmed my KFC nonsense, exactly 1 week later, I went out with my friends. We ate fried chicken and waffles, which was really good, at this restaurant called Ashton's or some shit like that. A bit overpriced, but was still really yummy. And after that, we had dessert at Swenson's. So I got some chocolate and cookies and cream ice cream, and then we goofed off for a little bit, and then I indulged in my we goofed off at like a random shop that sells like cute things, I guess, and then I indulged my weeb shit by looking at figurines. And after that, it was time to say, okay, that's enough, let's go home. And in the lift, we saw these really cute dogs. Oh, they're so cute. My friend bought me this really huge fish ball from Old Chunky, and it was yummy. I get the hype now. I get the hype. And I'm going to officially end this video by showing you a little teaser of how the colors would look like. So the colors, it's going to be this really dark night scene with sparkles and shit. It doesn't look very clear right now, but I intend for the jacket to also be made of leather as well. I think I said that already, but I'm gonna try my best to render leather in this illustration. And yes, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for listening to me ramble on thus far. Take care of yourself as always, and I hope to see you in the next installment of this art book series, where we're definitely not going to color this illustration. Yes, thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one, and take care of yourself. Goodbye. Kisses. Mwah.